Bert Gambini, and we just wrapped up with the first show of Season 3. Today's secret ingredient, 3 different varieties of apples. Big thanks to Dan Tower Farms in Youngstown for providing the secret ingredient and really giving our chefs something great to work with today. Watching the creativity today, this was especially fun. I mean, both competitors, Jennifer Boye from the Mansion on Delaware and Christoph Wagner from Curly's, component-wise and in terms of creativity, both of them just really threw it down today. It was a pleasure watching them work and see what they presented for the judges.
Hello, my name is Christoph Wagner from Curly's Bar and Grill and Banquet Center. Today we are so fortunate to work with these beautiful Crispin and McIntosh apples. When creating the menu, I was just so excited that they gave me the strength of the beautiful Crispin where I could saute it, and I also love the fact that the McIntosh just cook right down. And I used both in my ingredients. Chutney, it had a little body to it, and then it had the bite. So the apples were just so wonderful to work with. Wonderful.
My name is Alan Bedenko. I write food reviews for the Buffalo Spree, and I write a blog at wnymedia.net. I've been fortunate enough to judge for all 3 seasons. As a judge, I look for 3 things in particular. I look obviously for flavor first, I look at texture second, and then I look to see how well the secret ingredient is integrated into the overall dish.
I'm Maria Luz Mejia, and this is the second time I have the honor and the privilege of eating Krista's food. And what I love about it the most is that she brings all of the world on a plate. So you can taste the Caribbean, you can taste her time in Europe, and for me, having judged this a couple of times, what she does the best of anyone that I've judged so far at these competitions is she really brings her A game when it comes to spicing, flavor, and texture.
Our first course today, we did a saffron apple poached Parisienne, and with a bit of apple cider and a Riesling. And I also made some apple croutons, and I poached those with saffron as well. And I caramelized them, topped them with an apple slaw, done in an apple cider, honey vinaigrette, nice and crisp. And then I finished that with skate wing. Just to lighten it up a bit, chive beurre blanc we finished it off with.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Boye. I'm the executive chef of the Mansion on Delaware Avenue. When I saw the apples, I thought the possibilities are endless. Our first course consisted of an apple salad, which was matchstick apples with some pomegranate, manchego cheese, baby arugula, and a rosemary, grainy mustard, and apple vinaigrette. We also did a sauerkraut and apple pierogi that sat on a bed of apples and onions.
Our second course today was duck. It was a wild Arkansas mallard duck that my husband went out and actually shot. I was worried so much today about the buckshot in it, but we got through it just fine. We did a really nice Calvados apple cider duck blast for the sauce and served it with a sweet potato, foie gras, and Crispin apple hash. And then just for a little bit of tartness, I did an apple cider and cranberry relish, and just together it's happened on the plate.
Our second course consisted of a bacon-wrapped antelope. It was a boneless leg of antelope that we wrapped in local bacon from Spars. We served that on a potato and apple pancake. We did bacon, apple, and red pepper marmalade on top, and a cider demi-glace.
Our third course this evening was one of my favorites because I love having fun. I have the most unbelievable cheese that I had the opportunity to work with. It was from Vermont Butter and Cheese, and it was a hand-ladled, ash-ripened goat's cheese, bone bush, which means beautiful mouthful. And with that, I served a chutney done with a bit of ginger. Of course, I used the Max and I used the Crispins and cherries, done with a bit of vinegar and then some brown sugar. The chutney was awesome, and I finished it off with apple cake.
Our third course was an apple study, a dessert apple study, and we did apple toffee truffles. We did an apple eggnog with a cinnamon mascarpone, and we also did an apple and green tomato crisp, and that was topped with a cheddar streusel topping, almost a nice homey freeform apple pie feel.
Jennifer's dessert I thought was spectacular. It was very beautiful, really highlighting apple, as well as her antelope, which is something I'd never had before. That was really a treat and a super flavorful dish.
It's a cliche, but it's disappointing that Jennifer had to lose by, even if it was only by 1 point, because there really shouldn't have been any losers today. The dishes were so wonderfully executed and they were so delicious. I think Jennifer lost a couple of points because the apples weren't as ubiquitous in all of her dishes. That was the only thing that may have taken away from that. The thing that really stands out for me was the soup that she made that had the carrot greens on top. And then there was also at the very end with her desserts, there was the chocolate truffle, obviously was fantastic. But I really liked the eggnog that had apple essence in it, as well as a little chunk of mascarpone cheese, and it all, there were little surprises in her dishes that were unexpected, and really, I think all of the judges really appreciated not only the work that she put into it, but the execution and the flavors.
When judging these events, I always try to start with a blank canvas, a clean slate. Although I had already judged Krista's food before, I was coming in, okay, this is clean, it's like I've never tried her food before. And I didn't expect the race to be so tight. Both of them were incredibly competent in technique, flavors, preparation methods. Their styles of cooking were very different, but what really stuck out in my mind was just Krista Van Wagner's ability to use spice and flavor. I mean, I think to me, to my palate, those are her strong suits. She's able to take a simple thing like duck breast and elevate it to this whole new level by using star anise and white pepper, and she just is able to take that secret ingredient, do it 10 different ways, and excite your palate every time. And Jennifer did the exact same thing, only in her very unique and beautiful style. It's just Krista had just that little bit of edge, and I think that comes from experience, years of travel abroad, having cooked in many more kitchens. She's got a few tricks in her pocket that I know in a few years Jennifer's going to have too, and then she's going to be the one to watch out for.
I thought Krista's duck dish was really remarkable. It was wild duck with a sweet potato and foie gras and apple hash. Which was the luxuriousness of the foie gras really made it a special dish. Judging is extremely difficult, especially with two chefs that are as talented as these two. And I think it's really a testament that it really came down to one vote, because all the dishes were really that spectacular today.
It's really exciting for me as a food writer coming from Toronto, which is only 2 hours away, is to see how you guys are really tapping into the stories that tell your unique terroir story. You're talking about farmers and chefs and producers and growers and artisanal food makers that add to the color and the vibrancy and the texture of what you have here, and that's what makes culinary tourism interesting.
I've been fortunate enough to judge for all 3 seasons. It's interesting to watch not only how well the show is executed, where the audience is brought more into the experience. They have the monitors so people get a better sense of what's happening and what people are doing. And what's great about it is that people tend to think of Buffalo as, a place where you get wings and pizza, and we argue about all of those dishes and who's got the best wings, who's got the best pizza. But really, when you think about it, it's people like Jennifer and people like Krista who do really excellent cuisine on a daily basis, who like to emphasize flavors, textures, using local farmers, ingredients that are sourced locally as much as possible, so that there's a freshness to it and you're helping the local economy, and there's a cycle to that really helps get the word out about things that are good about Buffalo and Western New York in general.